Anyone can make a difference.
Let's make a splash for JDRF.
Cure diabetes!
Right before Katie's 6th birthday, she was at home, and she's always been a creative, happy person, and she put out a beach blanket, and she had crackers and cheese, and she got her dolls, and we were going to have a picnic. And we got the call. I got the call about 45 minutes later and said, could you please come to the hospital right away? I said, what is it? And they said, well, we just want you here. I said, is it diabetes? Not really knowing what diabetes is. And they say, we think so. You need to come immediately. And I remember being on the phone, looking at my 5-year-old on the floor, thinking, her life is forever changed. And I didn't know how, and that scared me the most.
Every day is a learning process, because every day presents a new challenge. I mean, you think after several years, you think you've seen it all and done it all and know how to deal with it, and then something else will happen. So it's a continual learning experience, how to take care of Katie.
It was extremely overwhelming for our entire family and for Katie, because we didn't know what we were doing, even though we had to be experts to our little girl who had a serious disease that had to be closely monitored. So the first year was extremely overwhelming, but at the same time, we always tried to stay positive so that Katie would always have her childhood.
I remember the first time Katie slept over at our house. She came to spend the night with the kids and have some fun, and I remember being so nervous because I didn't want her to go low or to go high during the night, so I myself set my alarm and went in and woke her up a couple times during the night just to make sure she was okay. And I just remember thinking how difficult it must be to have that every single day of your life.
When she's high, she just gets mean and rude, and you know she's high, like you know her blood sugar's off, and you just want to be like, please do your number.
And I think it's important for people to remember that although the people with juvenile diabetes and many diseases look normal, like they're functioning just like everybody else who's healthy, they are not. You know, appearances can be deceiving. It's hard work to look normal on a day-to-day basis.
I feel sort of bad for her because sometimes her shots hurt and sometimes she doesn't want to do some types of shots, but she's sort of used to pricking her finger.
When my sugar level gets high, I get really tired, really thirsty, and really angry. I can get mad at anything really fast. And when I get low, either I get really goofy and crazy and just really wild, or I just get really quiet, and if I'm low for too long, I could pass out.
It was easy when she was diagnosed. I was her world. I gave her everything she ate. I gave her everything she drank. All her activities were through me, and I drove her everywhere. I knew her friends, I knew her play dates. She's 16. She goes to school at 7 in the morning, and sometimes she doesn't come back till 8 o'clock at night because of her extracurricular activities. That's great. I love that she's having a great high school experience. I worry from the time she gets out of school till the time she gets in what her sugar level is, where she is, if she is taking care of it properly, because it affects her studies and it affects her performance in sports. And she's a kid and she thinks that she's infallible, and she's not.
And I think when you're 16 and younger, you don't really think ahead, no, it's not going to happen to me. I feel so good most of the time. And they just have to realize when you get 30, 40, 50 years old, will she be able to have children? All these different things come up.
One of the worst things I could think of is that she's had diabetes for 10 years and she's only 16. Diabetes is like a time bomb in your body. It makes me sick to think when Katie is 26, in childbearing years for our family, that she'll have diabetes for 20 years. Diabetes ages your body. I pray that she'll be cured by then. I also pray that her body will be in good enough shape that she'll be able to have wonderful life with the family.
When Katie was diagnosed and we began to research what diabetes was, and we heard about JDRF, and one thing JDRF presents us is hope. It's the avenue for a cure, and it's really the only organization that is solely dedicated to curing diabetes. And that's why, you look at your child and you just jump in. You say, that's what we have to do.
JDRF is my second family. I love seeing faces from JDRF that I know. There are so many people. When I have been to national conferences, it doesn't matter if someone's from Tennessee or California, they're JDRF. We all believe in the same thing and we're working towards the same cure. And I've met so many kids with diabetes. If I have any questions about anything, if I ever just need some support about anything, I have so many people I can talk to that I know will always be there for me.
When I talk to people who are newly diagnosed, it upsets me so much because I know what they're going through. And I know how hard it's going to be in the beginning. And I wish I could make it easier for them. And I can't, because with all the money that is put into research, there still isn't a cure. And their child is going to have to do exactly what Katie has done for the past 10 years. And it makes me so sad to think that another child is diagnosed, because it is extremely difficult every single day.
A cure for juvenile diabetes would just mean not only so much to Katie and her family, but also to millions of others who are affected with the disease. Insulin is not the cure for diabetes. The pump is not the cure for diabetes.
There are a lot of you who are sitting there who don't believe that you individually can make a difference. And you have to know that it is not just you as an individual, but all of you as individuals working together who will make a difference.
I always think, when I ask people for money, for Katie, I'm sorry, I always think, how great would it be for Cassie and Joe, Katie's mom and dad, to go through a day and not have to worry. That's what I think.
My hope is that we can find a cure so that I can be normal and not have to worry about different things, so that when I grow up, I won't have to worry about having kids and worrying if, I can't drive them to soccer practice right now because my sugar level's low, or, I can't hold my infant right now because my sugar level's low and I might drop it.
The only way that we're going to find a cure for it is through research. Research is expensive, and we need everybody's money for events such as we're having here this evening, because that's the only way we're going to find a cure for diabetes, is through research. The more money they have, the more research they can do.